Hi there, it's Mary Charlson here from 5minutemarketing.com. Welcome back. This is our fifth and final video, at least in this series, of taking a look at 2020 marketing trends. We did our first one looking at all 5 trends, and then I've been doing a series of deep dives into each of these trends. This is trend number 5, called Trend Platforms of Opportunity. I'm doing a bit of a deep dive into this in terms of tactics that you can use in your business. So one thing we know, increasingly social media has become more crowded. But we've also got consolidated platforms. Some have gone are gone, like Google Plus and Vine. Others have been acquired, like Instagram through Facebook. But we're kind of down into these platforms being kind of the major ones. We got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest. There are other ones around messaging platforms, but those are the main sort of social media platforms. This is kind of where things are consolidated, and it's getting crowded. It's part of the reason why they've brought in new features, things like stories, just because they need to find more inventory, more areas to be able to keep people's eyeballs and content to be able to feed the thirst for the ads that want to go on these platforms. So it's getting more crowded, but there are some platforms and some windows of opportunity. So these were sort of the deep dives we went into, or the platforms I went into, and I'm going to do some deep dives around it. So LinkedIn personal feed. The organic reach on LinkedIn right now it's great. LinkedIn to me right now feels like Facebook in 2011, before Facebook went public, before the algorithms had to kind of choke things down, before they had to answer to quarterly results. LinkedIn is a public company. However, organic right now feels really good. So, and if it's a well-targeted audience, if you've built out your personal connections, it's an amazing audience that is in an incredible mindset around business. So it's the depth of reach and the length of time. So depth of reach, the algorithm seems to favor, as soon as somebody comments, it goes to the top of the feed, and that thing can kind of multiply. I've had posts regularly hit up to 1,000. I've had some stuff go well over 4,000 or 5,000. I haven't seen anything like that on Facebook for years. So the depth of reach is high organically, and also the length of time that the post stays active. The algorithm, like I said, a comment goes on it, it immediately goes to the top. And I've seen stuff that has stayed active for well over a week, and then it pops up again in week 2, week 3, as somebody chimes in later. Stuff on Facebook just rolls. After a day, it's gone. And so the depth of reach and the length of time and the organic reach, I think, is a huge opportunity on LinkedIn. So some tactics: post daily, ask questions and engage, utilize video, be useful. Don't pitch and sell all the time. If you're useful, people get to see you as a resource, and then you'll earn the opportunity to occasionally pitch. Okay, I think that's a personal viewpoint, and I've seen it work very well. So LinkedIn, great opportunity. Second opportunity is TikTok. You've probably heard about this. Good chance, unless you're a teenager, you're not on it. You should perhaps consider that. Here's some stats. 500 million active monthly users worldwide are on TikTok. 90% of those use the app daily. And the average time, catch this, the average time is 52 minutes per day. Just stop and think about that for a second. I learned a whole lot more about TikTok from my daughter, who was visiting over Christmas from UVic. I kind of hate to think about the amount of time that could be going into studying that's going into TikTok, but that's the nature of the game right now. There's a lot of eyeballs on TikTok. It's fun, it's creative, it's frankly quite addictive. It's very different than other stuff. It's based out of China. Some people have some security issues around that. Musical.ly was, it acquired Musical.ly, so it's got kind of a music, there's a lot of music and dance stuff on it, but there's a lot of other stuff on it too. And so the target right now is teens, absolutely, is teenagers. Some are up into their 20s, and then there's kind of some age outliers in certain groups. I found mums of TikTok through a hashtag. There's certainly age outliers, but primarily it's teens and youth. So, but here's what I know from the history around Snapchat, around Instagram, the people who dismissed those platforms when they were first starting out. Every platform ages up. If it's big, it will either be acquired or it will explode or it will die. This one is likely not going to die, so there's a really good chance if you're in there early, you'll at least get the opportunity to understand how the darn thing works and also the opportunities that it might hold for your business as it ages up, and it will if it stays around. So here's some tactics. Join and make a profile. Follow 50 people, and the most strategic way to do that is to go into hashtags around your interest areas. So it could be around food, around skiing, around travel, writing, you name it. You put it in there, and then you see who's posting stuff, and then follow 50. I don't know if there's a magic in 50. It just sort of seemed about enough that it gives me a critical amount of cross-section of people to see what kind of variety of content is being shared and posted. Then consume for 10 minutes a day for a couple of weeks. Do your best to shut it off after 10 because it is addictive. And then after that, post. Because by then you'll know what kind of content is being shared by who, what might resonate. Of course, during that time period of watching and observing, you can comment, you can like, you can do various things, but I would suggest not creating content until you actually kind of get what's going on, and then create content for the platform. Don't take your old content and repurpose it. Don't go sitting there trying to pitch your product as a 40-year-old to a bunch of 16-year-old girls. Just please don't. But have fun with it. There's lots of cool editing tools within the app as well. The third platform of opportunity is Pinterest. It is a visual search engine. It is not a social media platform. It's kind of like Google for visual search. And with the trend towards visual search, Google Lens, Pinterest Lens, as I mentioned in a previous video, 600 million visual searches took place on Pinterest with Pinterest Lens last year. If you're in an industry or brand with fashion, with home decor, art, food, beauty, vehicles, travel, any of those, you should be on Pinterest, because a pin and pins on boards are linked back directly to your website. There's no other platform, social media platform out there that encourages people to leave Pinterest to go to your website. They all want people to stay within their platform so that they can serve up ads. Pinterest is different. And so Pinterest is a platform of opportunity overlooked by many. And so if you're in those categories, those brands, you should be on Pinterest. Fourth and final tactic that I'll share with you is any new feature that a social media platform launches, get in early and use it. Examples include like IGTV, Insta Stories. The reason is the app wants people to use it, and they'll open up the organic algorithm to share that content to let more and more people know about the feature, so they actually will also start to use it themselves. The early adopters will always get an increase in organic sharing within that feed. So those are our 4 tactics. The 3 opportunities: LinkedIn, TikTok, and Pinterest. And the 4th one is using those features when they're launched and being an early adopter. Thanks again for joining us for the fifth tip around platforms of opportunity, and for an entire series on the 5 trends coming up for 2020 to consider in your marketing. Thanks for joining us here at 5minutemarketing.com. We'll see you soon.